Over the years, there were various types of color standards around the world for the television sets. This was mainly due to either terrain, political reasons, or mainly just the sight of reasoning. The Americas, more specifically the United States, started experimenting with color sets in the early 50s. However, when CBS tried to introduce their own color service, which was proprietary, requiring the usage of a new transmitter and their own television set, obviously it would not work. However, when the FCC, along with engineers at RCA, tested the NTSC standard, which ultimately was backwards compatible with NTSC black and white televisions at the time, it ultimately became the standard. Finally, by 1955, various testing experiments had been done in order to bring NTSC into the market. Eventually, the first color televisions and transmitters started rolling off that line around the same time. Over in Europe, the PAL standard, developed by West German engineers at Telefunken, ultimately became the standard for most of Europe. In the UK, the first color transmitters started beginning in 1967, although engineers at that time from the BBC and ITV proposed the 405 NTSC standard. It ultimately never went off the ground, and the PAL standard eventually became nationwide in that country beginning in 1967. This standard, which was proprietary, required an all-new transmitter, all-new televisions, and Western TV was a dual 405 or 625 line set. Over in France, the SCEAM standard was ultimately chosen, mainly due to France's terrain and mainly other reasons, was ultimately chosen as well, also starting transmissions around that same time. If you were unfortunate enough to live in the Eastern Bloc countries, i.e. past the Iron Curtain, SCEAM was also chosen as well. This may have been due to political reasons, or intentionally China stopped receivers from that time frame to not even be compatible with PAL standard television sets or color transmitters. Attempts to improve the technology with PAL Plus in 1995 for the PAL territories. However, also around that same time, WRAL-TV in Raleigh, North Carolina became the first NTSC digital station, and by 2000, they were the first station in the United States to effectively begin broadcasting their news content, albeit experimentally, in high definition, with that used at the North Carolina State Fair. Over the next couple of years, some countries started turning off their analog transmissions. Although this is not a complete rundown, here are the few big countries. The United States shut off their analog transmissions on full power transmitters, i.e. the ones that were not half power or low power, all of it on June 12, 2009. Canada and Japan were also the next countries to do it, turning off their transmitters both in July of 2011 and August 31st of 2011 respectively. Oceania was the next, mainly Australia and New Zealand, which ended their transmissions in 2013. Although digital television has taken over the landscape, NTSC PAL are mainly used as a backwards option for DVDs, as those are currently 480i, albeit with digital video, are still used to this very day.